friends, this is Raman Gill with your daily Forex market analysis for May 27th, 2016. We'll start by taking a look at the Forex factory. Not a lot of news for the London session tomorrow. Starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, we have preliminary GDP numbers for US dollar. This is a very important number. We've been hearing a lot about Fed interested in raising interest rate as soon as June, although many people think that may not happen. Which makes sense. However, they're open to it. And they said in the last FOMC meeting that they would be watching the data that comes out. And GDP numbers are very important in terms of the data that would have an impact on the interest rate hikes. And then we have revised UOM consumer sentiment number at 10 o'clock. And finally, the most important thing for tomorrow would be Fed Chair Yellen speaking. Since we have had FOMC meeting minutes come out, we haven't actually heard from Yellen herself. And market will be paying a lot of attention to her speech. They'll be looking for clues as to what direction the Fed is thinking of going in, whether they're really serious about raising interest rates, and when are they actually looking to raise interest rates, if at all, this year. So because of that, tomorrow the GDP numbers plus, more importantly, Fed Chair Yellen's speech will be very, very important. So I suggest you keep an eye on that. Let's move on to the charts now. We'll start off by taking a look at Euro US dollar daily chart. Based on this daily candle here, this looks bullish. So we may see another push up towards this 1250 level here. Prior to that, we'll get a pullback, but overall, we are looking at a push towards 1250. We have been in this range for the last few days now, so we are looking for this to push up. Also, another thing to keep in mind here, we have end of the month coming up. Monday and Tuesday are the only 2 days people will have time to close out their positions. So we have seen this nice trend to the downside here. And because of that, a lot of people are short. So they would be, especially the fund managers and any of the money managers, they would be looking to close some of their positions to book some profits at the end of the month. So that's another thing we need to keep in mind. What that means is that we may see some reversals in trend just from closing their positions. Looking at the 4-hour Euro US dollar chart here, we saw that the price was tracking along the top of the range, came to the bottom of the range, stayed there for a few hours, and now it has gone right into the middle, the support and resistance level here. At this point, we could see the price hang on, stay above the pivot, and then push towards this R2 level, which is 1250. And if the price stays below 1250, we could see another push to the downside. If the price breaks above the 1250 level, we could see the price move up to the next level, which will be 1300. So that's the next level we'll be watching. For now, we will treat this as a range bound market. If the price goes up to 1250, which is R2, up top of the range here, we'll be looking to sell it. If the price comes back towards 1134 or 1120 area, we'd be looking to buy. 1120 falls in line with the S2, so we'd be looking to buy at 1120 and potentially sell at 1250. Unless the price breaks through 1250, then it may go up to 1300. So those are some of the options that we'll be watching for tomorrow. Looking at pound US dollar here, we were seeing a divergence between euro and British pound. Euro was going down against the US dollar, however, the British pound was staying up. At this point, we have seen a nice candle here, a bearish candle. It's still above the previous swing level here. It hasn't managed to close below and engulf this candle. So because of that, this could be bullish even though it is a red candle and it did not manage to break the high. We could see it come down into the bottom here and then push up. So that's something that we'll have to keep an eye on. However, on the other scenario is we may see another move to the downside here, and for that the potential target would be this 4560 level here. We'll be looking for a move into 4560, or if the price stays above 4600, we could see a push down into 4600 and the move back up all the way to 4738 top of this candle, and then finally higher into either 4800 or the top of this pin, which is 4770 level. Looking at the 4 hour chart here, we do see this double top here and a nice pin bar and a drop here. So now if the price stays below the pivot point, we would be looking for another move to the downside with 4600, this level being the first target. If the price stays above this, we could see a push back up. However, if the price breaks through the 4600 level, we have this inefficiency that could get filled, and we'd be looking for this 4440 area or even 4480 area right here. However, if the price stays above here, we are looking for 4738 to the upside. We look for the price to go challenge that and then finally move above that to potentially even to 4800 level. Looking at Aussie US dollar here, we've been trading this as a range bound market for the last few days and will continue to do so unless it does break on top or the bottom of the range. So at this point, we've seen a bullish candle. However, it did not manage to break 72.50. So as a result, we are treating this as a range bound. If the price goes to 72.50, we are looking to sell unless price closes above the 72.50 level, in which case we'd be looking for a move to the upside. And the first target would be aiming for would be 7300. If the price doesn't break the 72.50 level, we're looking to trade it back into the range towards the bottom of the range here at 71.50. So those are the two scenarios. Looking at New Zealand US dollar here, we do still have this range bound market. However, we have a trend line here as well, a downtrend line. One thing to notice though here is that we are forming a bit of a wedge here. We see that the price has been going down. However, it hasn't really broken this bottom of the wedge here. And if the price doesn't break the bottom, the next scenario would be that it will break the top and then go up higher. However, even outside of the wedge, we can trade this just as a range bound market and looking for a move to the upside here if it does break through. If the trend line holds, we're looking for a move into 6720 area or 12 area here and down into 6700. And then at that point, we would be the next target would be at 6670 area, this support and resistance level. However, if the price does break this trend line, we're looking for it to trade to the top of the range at 6800. Here's our 4 hour chart. As you can see, price has been trying to move down. However, it hasn't really broken to the downside. It's been managing to push back up, and at this level we'd be looking to see if the price breaks the trend line. If it doesn't break the trend line, we're looking for a move to the downside. Dollar CAD here, we saw a nice bearish close and a follow through on that. However, today we saw this long wick at the bottom of the candle. This gives it a bit of a bullish to neutral bias. I would still be looking for a move to the downside here. It may come and test this 12900 level. However, if the price breaks through this 130 level, we are looking for price to go back into this original range and maybe even to the top of this range 3180 area here. So we have to be open to trading it both ways. If the price stays below 130, then we're looking for a move to the downside, potentially into 129. However, if the price breaks through the 130 level, the next target we are looking for is 3138 area and finally into 3190 or 3200 level. Here's our 4 hour chart. We saw a nice topping formation up top here and then finally a close into the previous swing high, which has now been broken. So we could get a pushback into R1 here, this 130 level, and then a move to the downside. So our first target would be S1, which is the 12900 level. And if it does break down further, we are looking for this one next, which is 128.38. However, tomorrow I'll be looking for a move back into either 2900 or a break above 130, in which case we're looking to buy the back test of this and look for further up. So that's it for now. Have a great weekend and I will see you next week.